Oh, crap. 1 second, everybody. We are experiencing technical difficulties. There we go, it's working now. Okay. Well, that freaked me out. No, but I don't... Why? Why do you always insist on Steam VR? I deliberately tell you not to start in VR mode. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Friday evening. It's time for more Obduction. Or Obduction, not Abduction. We're solving puzzles, not anal probing aliens. Yes. There we go. Okay. So now I've got to figure out how to get the chain world to work. Somehow. The only thing I can think of... Oh! Is that I'm a moron. Oh? Okay, I think I found my next goal. Somehow I gotta get that down. Oh, I thought it was like a steam leak there. It's just God rays. Okay. I don't know. We'll come back later. There we go. I have absolutely no clue what this thing is supposed to do. But I feel like I should. I've done everything I can think of for now. I mean, this thing is connected up there, so I would naturally assume that it has something to do with that. But however, since I have no clear instruction of what I need to do, or even if there's a pattern I need to form, I mean... Okay, can't get past that, which is, you know, fine. Okay. So I know that I think what that actually is that's a shortcut. I'm going to walk out of here so I'm not yelling over the sound of the machinery. That set of stairs up there is definitely a shortcut. And I think I have to get up onto that platform first before I can do anything. Now, I have unlocked the ability to teleport using the edge of the map, just as I did in the previous area. So I think the big focus here should be on exploring the exact extent of what I can teleport to and from. Okay. This may also be another shortcut. That actually may lead me right back up. I think it does. I think that is the drop basket from over there, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Alright. So no teleporting here. No teleporting there. Okay. Okay. So, that is that. So it looks like, at least the way I see it, that the only thing left that I really can interact with is that panel there, which I don't see any way to interact with it at all. Which is frustrating, but I may have proceeded as far as I can in this area, which is perfectly fine. There's still plenty to be explored back at the uh, at the hub world. Okay. Oh. Turned a little bit too early there. Whoopsies. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so it looks like the next big thing I have to solve is that electronic box on the other side. What it does, I don't know, but with any luck, I will be able to figure things out. Who am I kidding? This is me we're talking about. Luck is the only way I'm going to figure my way up past that thing. So, since it doesn't look like I can teleport anywhere using the edge of the map, other than to that one location which we've already explored pretty thoroughly, for half a second there. Half a second. I almost thought I could do it. Alright, let's go over that place one more time. Wait a sec. What are you, and can I get to you? Let's take a quick peek at that. No, it doesn't look like I can, but it looks like you are over there. Yeah, I can't get over there, which means there's very likely a way to transit over there that I haven't stumbled upon yet, but if I had to guess, this would have probably been it, but because this area is collapsed, I can't get up there. So oh, I think I know how to get over there now. Okay, so okay, that makes sense. Mildly annoying, but it makes sense. $20 says down there is the entryway in, and this is sort of a quick... No, wait, that's not it. No. I think it's over here that's the entryway. And I think this is it right here. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. So this is a shortcut. Which means at some point... Okay. I see why. So at some point I'm going to need to be able to activate this to get back to the portal down there. Which makes sense. What? Say that again? Why didn't that work last time? Chat, I need booze. God damn it, Chad. I just figured out what's happening. Rather than run all the way back... So, okay. So, I've just figured out how you're supposed to do this. So, after you somehow got that to work, even though I tried multiple times to get that thing to spin like I did, but after you do that, you then come to the basket here, go back down, so you're going to have to run all the way back around. Okay. So now you come back out here. Why do you come back out here? Because instead of running all the way back around, the game gives you a shortcut to come back to here, to quickly jump on here, and then... Would you look at that? Chat, we're not done yet, you see? So come up here, run down here. Fast as your legs can carry you, despite all the noise. And you come over here. See? We're thunkin', chat. We're thunkin'. And after you come over here, you run to... I swear to God. I'm just thinking that if I tried learning that number system and the ultimate troll was that the number system is never used, I'm going to have a minor conniption fit, as my mother would say. Okay, good. We made it to... All hail the timpani! The timpani, ladies and gentlemen, one of the signature instruments used in Cyan World games. Why? To be frank, the timpani sounds awesome. Oh! Well, that's a biggin. Oh no. Oh, thank God, the fork in the road was blocked. I don't have to think, I don't have to make choices, I simply just have to go forward. Oh! Well, hello there. I know where I am now. Alright, where do we end up now? That's a 3. Chat, I'm making my prediction now. I'm going to have to enter in a code to open that door. Hang on, I forgot my notes. Yes, chat, I believe that is a 3. Or not. Nope, that's a 3. That is a 3. I think. I hope. Anyway. Okay. Okay. Ah, hello. Oh. No? Very well. Hello there. Where will you be taking me now? And will I be bringing something back with me this time? You know, I actually haven't stopped and investigated how the YouTube compression does with all these like little dancey things on screen. I would assume it absolutely fracks them up. Ooh. Ooh, I'm in a new area. Interesting. Very cool. Adventures in Ages of Mist and Beyond. Very nice Easter egg there, Cyan. From caverns miles beneath New Mexico desert, the Dunny ruled an empire that lasted 10 millennia. They wrote linking books that allowed them to span universes, ignoring the primitive humans that infested the surface. But the glory of Dunny was brought low mere centuries ago, and their ages were left empty and abandoned. Until now, called to the desert, we have found our way down to Dunny. Its secrets are in our hands, and its future is ours to determine. The next chapter of Dunny is unwritten. In 1993, Cyan Inc. introduced us to the surreal worlds of Mist and the Dun'Ee. Now you can make your own journeys of exploration and adventures through the ages. Discovery-focused mechanics, play modern or historical Dun'Ee, unlimited possible environments. I love the idea of having other ways for people to tell stories in the Mist universe. And Fate. Yep, okay. Very well done, Cyan Worlds. Very well done. Okay, that's a little... I have to. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got trolled. I got trolled. I opened the book expecting it to be a linking book, and it's not. I don't know why this is so funny. Essentially, this is supposed to be a linking book, except, you know, if we opened it from the front, it would show a screen playing, you know, the Island of Mist. It's just that this is sort of a prop, and it just plays a video. Okay. Okay, that's funny. Alright. Cerberus. Okay. Cerberus I don't get, but that's funny. That is funny to me. Well done, Cyan Worlds. And the Ark of the Covenant. Okay. I should have seen that first. I should have seen the Ark of the Covenant first, but no, I was attracted here. The Ark of the Covenant. Alright, Cyan Worlds. Okay. Arai larval nodes by CF. Takes about 3 to 5 days for a single Arai larva to change color after being moved to a new surface. Pulsing stops immediately upon removal from Captar, including polyarchs. Cloning has been extremely easy, like potatoes easy. Organics. Plant fiber yellow, bone light. Oh, okay. Arai encrustment green, metals, gold. Oh, okay. Tech, Mofang Tech, Magenta, Villian Extrusions, near Whitestone. 1 second. This is a print screen moment. One second, I gotta go turn my printer on. Okay. And that'll print out, and I will be happy. I will be very happy. One second. I gotta turn paint off. Because I'm a silly boy who doesn't do... No, I don't want to save. Because I'm a silly boy who doesn't do these things ahead of time. You know. Actually, let's just double check and make sure there's no backside. That doesn't look like it. Okay. Okay, doesn't look like there's any pouches in this thing. Villian, I can't find the words. It's such a foreign life cycle, or perhaps not. They launch themselves across the expanses of space, preserved for eons, until at last their technological arcs can hone in and carry them to a new home. They have no concern with their predecessors, but in spite of this, or perhaps because of this, they have amazing recollections of their history. Their stories are epic, reaching back through the eons. Unlike many of us who were abducted, they were abducted as a whole. Their scoop moved an entire facility that was about to be annihilated. I've come to believe that they, perhaps more than any of us, have a deeper understanding of whatever this strange system is that we find ourselves in. 1633 AH. I need to write this down. We buried G. Yvonne today. This place never really agreed with her, kept to herself mostly. Depressed and downcast. Anyway, I digress. I stayed after the brief words were spoken. I was the last to leave. I wandered to the dome, as I often do, and looked out at the undulating Soren wilderness beyond the cell wall. Movement caught my eye. Now, on very rare occasions, we've seen Mofang scrambling in the distance, but there have been fewer and fewer sightings over the years. But before me was a tall, haggard Mofang running desperately, almost directly towards me from one of the distant structures. It, I still can't tell the gender, got closer and closer. I thought it would see me and stop or turn around, or be curious about this strange dome and our world inside it. But it continued, running quickly, almost directly to my position. I was frozen in place with curiosity. I just noticed those scissors over there. They have a male and female, which is kind of weird to me. I was frozen in place with curiosity until my reflexes took over at the last moment, and I leapt out of the way, but rather than hit the dome and fall backwards or come through into Humbrath, the dome flashed its familiar tone and the Mofang vanished. I was stunned for a bit, but I retrieved my wits and stepped into the dome myself to get to the other side. After getting through, I immediately turned around and saw the Mofang outside, on the other side of the dome, still running away from whatever it feared, but as if it had no sense of passing around the dome. As surprising as this event was, it did serve to settle a few things in my mind. I always wondered how no one on Earth noticed what had replaced this chunk of Arizona we have here. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I've got to vent. Again, there are those who argue with me. Over and over, I demonstrate that in almost every case, whatever the process that brought us here, it occurred at a pivotal moment. They tell stories, and they still can't admit that the abduction actually saved each of us. All of us. What is it in human nature that grasps so strongly to the past that we blame our saviors for stealing it from us? Okay, just one more vent before bed. If each of us was individually saved from something, then maybe all of us were corporately saved from something larger. Can we really be sure what's left? And this, the arrivers come from various places and times. Sarah got here almost 15 years ago from the year 2055, and Vizel got here from 2.5 years ago. Got here 2.5 years ago from 1942. What does that mean? Time here is shuffled and chaotic compared to Earth. What state is Earth in right now? When is Earth right now? It's 3:15 a.m. and I feel compelled to journal this craziness. After spending most of yesterday meditating with the Arai, and then most of this evening discussing the nature of these worlds with CW, I had just a sip of infamous Hunrath Hooch and collapsed into my chair. Well, I just awoke from a dream. I'm not one who puts a lot of credibility in dreams, but maybe the Arai were able to move something in me to understand, or possibly, because of the intense discussion, my subconscious mind was triggered to be able to sort out some logical connection. Or maybe it was a hooch. The dream. I was tending a garden, an immense garden, and it wasn't just for food or flowers, it was just about the health of the garden. I kept working and working to control it and contain it and make it healthier, but the garden seemed to fight me at every turn. And after what seemed like days of work, I finally gave up in frustration, and as I stood there doing nothing, the garden flourished before my eyes, growing and spreading in every direction. I feel like that's a hint. Because, I realized, the system that the plants were based on was not about me shaping and controlling. The natural system of plants is healthier when they are out of control, when they are free to spread and intermingle and cross-pollinate and mutate. Now, from a human point of view, that may not provide what I want. I get smaller fruit and smaller flowers, and untidiness. But from the point of view of the plants, they grow stronger and much more resilient and resistant. The more they are scattered, the higher their odds of surviving. And now that I contemplate, I realize that even the individual plants/seeds may not appreciate the benefits of what's happening. They are torn far from their origins, forced into situations that seem extreme, possibly even destroyed by these new environments. But for the seeds that survive, the seeds that survive, now that's where real growth, strength, and abundance comes from. Highlighting? It's so beautiful and terrifying. Beyond the beauty of it all is a system and a structure that defies understanding. Okay, what if this is all a natural process? There are signs of something behind it all, but, well, hidden signs. So, well, if I look at all of this, the cell, the tree, the water, the seeds, the hub, the health, even the abductions, well, there seems to be a grand system or plan. The plan doesn't take me into account. It is unemotionally intent on the health of something much bigger. That may hurt my feelings, but, well, what am I in the entire scheme of the universe? I have no idea what, if anything, might have put this process into motion, but that is irrelevant. Tomorrow I will talk with CW. He could be swayed from his battery. Oh, okay. So I think we're setting up two sides here. Just like we had in Myst, I think we're setting up two sides here. We're going to have to make a choice between the two of them. I really don't journal much. I came to write this down because I'm distraught. As I contemplate the plan I've set in motion, I realize that I have become the destroyer of worlds. Okay, Oppenheimer. I sat down to write, to seek some cathartic tranquilization, and I realized the last thing I journaled was some esoterically beautiful philosophy about letting this garden grow. Not so reaffirming or calming. But, nevertheless, here is my reasoning, because I must write this down. Simply, it's us or them. Complexity. If this is some kind of garden and we're the plants or seeds or whatever, well, some of us have gotten together and decided that we're the better choice to survive. If the others have well, some of us have gotten together and decided that we're the better choice to survive. If the others have unilaterally decided that we all won't survive, I am more fit, damn it! This is not me. I want to be calm and garden, or ungarden, or grow, or... What gives one species the right to destroy another species? Actually, in biology, there is a very simple explanation for that. If one species can outcompete the other species in the race for resources, territory, and breeding... can outcompete another species in order to acquire territory and resources to enable breeding, and that in turn causes the other species to lose territory and resources and prevents their breeding, or indeed, if it results in them becoming the prey of the first species, then yes, that species is more fit in biology. Or if a freak occurrence of nature happens and one species is wiped out just by random chance or act of God, then, well, the other species is more fit simply because they got the luck of the draw. That is how it works. That is who determines who is more fit. You are simply an actor upon the biological stage and must enact the evolutionary script as it has been given to you. It is not yours to ask why. It is not your job to question why. It is simply yours to do or die and breed and eat. Alright, what gives one species the right to destroy another species? Who gets to choose? Do I just lay down and die because the more aggressive species thinks they're better, more powerful? No. Once again, as I said, if you run into a more aggressive species, you prove that you are more fit than them by being able to deal with them or to adapt to the situation that you are placed in. If you adapt to it and can either deflect their aggressiveness or either defend against, deflect, or avoid their aggressiveness, then you are more fit than them. However, if by doing that, if your solution results in the two species just going at, just moving along side by side or whatever, then neither species is more. There are clear, defined criteria that determines what is more fit. Who is more fit? Sorry. What brutal scale do I just lay down and die because the more aggressive species thinks they're better, more powerful? What brutal scale do I use to measure the good of some against the life of others? Once again, the brutal scale is, do you survive? Do you not? Can you outcompete the other species? If you can, then their lives are objectively less valuable than yours. If we're just going by evolution and biology here. If you can outcompete the other species, then your lives are more valuable and theirs were less because they were weak. They could not adapt. They could not survive. Sorry. What gives one species... I'm going to do this straight. What gives one species the right to destroy another species? Who gets to choose? Do I just lay down and die because the more aggressive species thinks they're better, more powerful? What brutal scale do I use to measure the good of some against the life of others? Does love ever destroy in order to help more survive? To help love itself to survive? Well, now you're just bringing human morality into it because, evolution and nature doesn't give a rat's ass about love. Does that even make sense? Can I kill because I think it will bring about more love? I mean... You can kill for any reason. Hell, you can kill because someone farted in your direction and you decided you wanted to kill them for it. You can pick any reason you want to kill somebody. Whether it's right or not, well... that's another matter entirely. Does that even make sense? Can I kill because I think that it will bring about more love? What if I'm not even capable of understanding a situation of hate versus love? Maybe I am the hater. Do I generate this love delusion to help me maintain my sanity in the light of the choice I have made? I'm pretty sure there's a philosopher who's actually come up with the answer to this, but I'll be damned if I can remember. My God, it's too much. If these are just my walls of delusion, then I choose to live within them. That's actually a reasonable response. Because if you can't get out of those walls, then the best thing you can do is simply go with what you've got and hope for the best. I am a seed, scattered by the wind, but I will not simply be trampled. I will kick and scream and survive. May God have mercy on my soul. And then I assume he died after this, because he was inferior. He or she. JM. Or is this... yeah, this is J... oh, okay. So J is the male and M is the female. Okay. samurai weasel. Oh, this is a putt-putt boat. Putt-putt? Putt-putt? I can't remember how that's supposed to work. But essentially, I want to explain this to my chat. Stop that. So essentially how this works is, you light the candle and the thermal expansion of the heat causes vibrations, and it thus causes the boat to, the transfer of heat causes I think it causes the water to boil down here, which causes propellant. Anyway. CF. There's a portrait of... I see. Okay. Well, I've made it inside the house. Bleeder, Lake, Fuel, Scrapyard Plateau, Bosca? Okay. So behind CJ's, there's a way to get to the bleeder. Okay, I need to take a picture of this. Actually, hang on, let me just... There we go. interesting. There's something very... I recognize that pattern. That's the number pattern. That's civilian number sheets. Son of a bitch. The entire landscape outside of our circle of desert could only be described as alien. Large floating rocks could be seen on the distance. No one had even ever seen anything like it anywhere on Earth. We fully explored our new surroundings, hoping to find a way home. No way home was ever found. In fact, we soon discovered what we took for granted. Now, not only could we not get back home, we also could not access the landscape outside of the desert. Curiously, we discovered that a flow of water was provided from a high point of rock, and we discovered a small tree growing in the very center of the circle, our central tree that is so important to our lives. Here was just a mere sapling back then. Oh, okay, interesting. I shall document the curious events that have transpired with myself, my family, friends, and co-workers. Hartnell was a peaceful mining town founded by my grandfather and nestled within the red rock of the desert on the Arizona Territory. In the Arizona Territory. Pardon me. It's 163 inhabitants. heard a mighty explosion on the night of June 27th, 1903. I sent several workers through the town to verify that the explosion had if the explosion had not caused any injuries or damage to to mining equipment. They returned and reported that it must have been a loud clap of thunder caused by dry lightning, for they found no damage. It was not until the light of the next morning that we were amazed to realize something profound had indeed occurred. At some point during that night, our entire mining facility and a large circle of the land around it seemed to have been scooped up and carried off to a completely different place, all without anyone knowing about it. Mofang. Species description. Mofang. Through ambassador seeds, the Mofang were the first non-human species humans were introduced to. An Lang was the first to call the alien a Mofang, impressed with their advanced ability to imitate our sounds, movements, and mannerisms. Although they have a name for themselves, their language is mostly unpronounceable by humans. As a result, and because of their mimicry abilities, communication with the Mofang is primarily accomplished by their learning human languages rather than humans learning to speak Mofang. They have been able to learn almost every human language represented in Hunrath, enough to provide functional, if rudimentary, communication. The Mofang basic external morphology is remarkably humanoid. Bilateral symmetry, tetrapods. Bilateral symmetrical tetrapods. That means 4 limbs. Bipedal, 2 legs. Head with anterior facial features. Yeah. Mouth, eyes, nostrils. Other external features include minimal body hair and raised dorsal protrusions. Constitution is somewhat frail due apparently to their thin and lightweight internal structure, but internal investigation has not been possible. They have ample cranial space to account for a substantial brain, and their intelligence is impressive, as evidenced by their advanced technology. Are they gray? Are they grays? Yep, they are gray aliens. Okay. Alright, after a certain level of maturity and health of the tree, a passage opened at its base. This passage allowed contact with 2 additional species. The first was with the Arai. The first contact revealed the Arai to be large beetle-like insects. We were unable to communicate directly with them in any way, but they appeared to have some rudimentary level of intelligence. It was Lorin Toth, who first made the journey through the heart to Kaptar and named both the New World and the inhabitants. The Arai have 3 distinct variants that have come to be referred to as barnacle, beetle, and polyarch. Although their morphology is dramatically different from human, their internal systems, like all of our neighbors, are supported by similar atmospheric composition and basic nutrients. In their barnacle stage, the Arai are completely immobile. The Arai stay in this egg-like development state seemingly indefinitely. In order to hatch, they must be in proximity of a polyarch and fertilized by the beetles after a certain stage maturity. The beetles are the eyes, ears, hands, and feet, with only a minimal nervous system of their own. They are essentially the sensory extensions of the immobile polyarchs. They are able to execute simple commands, but apparently have very little in the way of an individual sentience. Oh lord, they have a partial hive mind. Hello! The Arai polyarchs are in the intelligence and consciousness of the species. Although it was obvious that there was intelligence behind the species, it wasn't until Caroline Farley began spending large amounts of time in close proximity that deeper communication began. With a room nearby, Farley was the first to communicate non-verbally and learn much about the species, including some historical information. The Arai species survived in their world while several other sentient species came and went. Among them, an ancient species who formed a deeper relationship with the Arai, carving temples and dwellings for them in the rocks, and later, a more recent species that took over much of their homeworld. This latter species was essentially adept at mechanical construction, using it mostly to capture and process large flying creatures, using the beetles as bait. Holy crap. Valian. The final species to be discovered were the Valian. The Valian had been communicating with the Arai for many years through ambassador seeds, but became part of the larger community very shortly after the Arai. With a large and imposing frame and a form of communication based on an entirely complex, multi-voiced, low-frequency rumble, I may have run into one of these things already. The initial introductions were intimidating. After several attempts, Emily Vidal was able to begin some rudimentary communication and began visiting the Valian in Mare, which she named, on a regular basis. She discovered a complex and amazing society that was able to use their technology in unexpected ways. They had the ability to quickly transform their world using extruded structures based on some form of complex miniature substrate material. Unlike the other worlds, the Valian sphere is scooped out of a Valian resettlement group that was preparing to set off into space to find a new homeworld. This was their way of life, to put themselves into stasis and scatter themselves throughout the stars. As mentioned previously, their appearance is imposing, standing about Damn! 9 feet tall, with a distinct reptilian resemblance. They have 6 limbs, 2 muscular legs and arms, and a smaller set of arms. They control every aspect of their technology with their vocalizations, but over the years they have created control panels based on their number systems, yes, to allow species easier access to elements of their technology. Ooh. Oh, now this is interesting. Ambassador seeds. Ambassador seeds were first documented about 150 Earth years ago. They occur about once every 400 days if the trees remain healthy. Natural seed swaps occur between pairs of seeds that, we now know, drop simultaneously from healthy trees in paired sphere. When each seed was touched by species in sphere, the swap occurred, sending an ambassador from each sphere to the paired sphere. Location of the swaps is defined by the location of the pairs of seeds. After the first swap, the seeds recharge quickly, allowing for a quick return. First meetings were intense but naturally short. It was quite a surprise for both the Mofang and us. Over time, the seeds required more time to recharge, producing longer visits between species. Unlike ambassador seeds and mother seeds, collector seeds do not seem to survive. The inner core is spent, leaving only the lifeless husk. Oh, so much background information, so much reading. How much is there here? I keep seeing something about mother seeds, but I'm not... Postulated but unverified. First suggested by Amelia Hamza. The notion of mother seeds extrapolates the behavior of the lesser seed to a super seed. She posited that the process that actually created the pair spheres was similar to all other swaps, but on a much grander scale. The idea that 2 seeds from a mother tree were scattered on the galactic winds to find appropriately similar environments when matches were found. Oh my god, it's so hard to read this. To find appropriately similar environments. When matches were found, some process was triggered that swapped large portions of the landscape between vastly different worlds. Alma further noted that the tree locations in the center of the sphere suggested that their trees grew from mother seeds. Because of the similarities, it has been conjectured that reswapping the entire environment sphere might be possible with a large-scale version of the Ambassador seed machine. Oh, I see, okay. Everyone who arrives is familiar with the collector seeds. The bright light that we were all drawn to right before the event that brought us here is a collector seed. What new arrivers may not be aware of is that these seeds, like all seeds, come in pairs. When the tree drops a collector seed on the ground, it signals that its twin has begun its quest for a new being. This search may take hours or it may take years. When an appropriate situation, a natural threat of death, is found, the seed activates and swaps a smaller but varying sized sphere from Earth, or whatever appropriate homeworld, to Hunrath. As Hunrath became more populated, we could watch for a newly dropped collector seed, collect it, and place it in the entry canyon area. Oh, okay. This allowed us to provide a more predictable entry experience for new arrivers and provide a single area to collect any resources that may have come with the new arriver. So if I am right, so either my seed landed there out of pure random chance, or someone, presumably days or years ago, in fact, okay. So that is a collector seed. Interesting. Okay. So that is a collector seed. And this is the entry canyon. So somebody put me here. Somebody found the seed that... Okay, so according to that book, someone found the collector... this side, this half of the pair, put me in there, and then waited for the seed that got me from back on Earth. So that seed could have been sitting there waiting for months, weeks, months. In fact, it probably did, because there's no one here. There was a war. We know this for a fact. So how long ago this war happened, I can't remember. And I don't remember if CW told me. $2042, Portland, United States of America, Skippy. Skiing at Mount Hood. Please note any danger you noticed. Samuel Karen, January 2017. Manakara, Madagascar.
I had just arrived and was driving my supply truck along the coast south of Manakara when I recall being washed away and the seed appeared. Okay. Wiesel Renegagen, 1940, Lübeck, Germany. The last thing I recall was the large rumbling while I was hiding in the cellar of a vacant building. I ran towards a bright light in a stairwell. Okay, 1940. That's probably, yeah, on my boat in a bad storm, Cozumel, Mexico. Skiing at Mount Hood. Interesting. So it seems like these people are all grabbed right before something bad. Well, we know that already. So whoever these people are...
Well, I feel like I should say something. We haven't heard from Shavar. So, well, so we assume that Shavar, well, the attack is inevitable. We just don't know when. So, Shavar and her family, and others she trusts, I guess, well, they'll arrive when they can, without giving, like covertly. So the plan will happen, in spite of our, we're locking down as much as possible here, and moving everybody out. CW will stay here, and I'll go to Murray at the last possible moment. Most are gone. There's just a few left here now. The mayor got out early. I don't even know why I'm recording this. It's like somehow we'll live on or something. I guess this has meaning if someone listens, but who? A new one? A new arriver. Oh, God, the kiosk out front. I need to update that message. We all lost everything. Everything but our stories. And they shouldn't be forgotten. I was 3. It was April of 1983. Cecil, it was 1870 for you. Sam and Vera, you tell it like it was yesterday, but it's been 62 years since you saw that blast of light. And that's where all of our news stories began, that light. It streaked across the sky, mesmerizing, but unnerving. Some of you were alone. I wasn't. if it was some forebearer of good fortune. Vera, you said you recall smiling.
None of us understood, but well, we followed. Whether it was game? Oh, we're drawn to see more. Grandma lifted me from the carriage on the porch, and
We could watch it unobstructed.
oh, iTunes did something screwy. That's why.
Even in daylight, Joseph, you said it was gloriously bright. But in the twilight, it was spellbinding. And we all felt some kind of trepidation, and yet attraction.
Oh, this is what they played in the intro.
And it approached us. So close, so radiant, and the sound deep and vibrant, organic. You all remember, there was no turning away. It advanced, almost like purposefully, spinning slowly until, well, it found us, each of us. We should tell these stories because it saved us, and there must be more.
It was in the middle of the afternoon.
I was watching the sunrise.
It was about 2:30 in the morning. December 26, 1948.
May 7th, 2009. September 3rd, 1995.
I was down by the river.
I was hiking in the desert, in the park with my grandson.
I looked up and saw a
Brilliant flash of light. Exploded in the sky. The light, it climbs the clouds and shines the trees.
it disappeared. I looked around and, to see.
See if there's anyone around. See if anyone else had seen what I had seen.
There was no one around.
They all saw it too. Bob definitely saw it. Well, it was just beautiful. There was something calming about it.
Yeah, I don't mind telling you, I was kind of freaking out. I tried to follow it, tried to get a better look at it.
Wanted to see it again.
I came to a place where it had disappeared.
Overlooked, but I found nothing. And it streaked through the sky again. It seemed like it was looking for something. Or looking for someone.
And then it found me.
And it found me. Found me.
Found me.
Found me.
Found me. Found me.
It found me.
Very odd. Okay. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I need to find a number. I don't know what AH is, but... What is that number? That's the code, isn't it? That's the code to get into the tower. It's that number. Damn it. I still haven't cracked the number system yet. Was I supposed to be able to get up here? Oh joy, boys and girls. I love how we can only convert numbers one way. It's mighty annoying. You know what would be really great? Like, hey CW, what's the code to get into the tower? What? Yeah, what's that code to get into the tower? Well, I can't tell you that. You gotta figure it out on your own. Why? Okay, let's do this logically here. So 0 is nothing. So 4 has it come off that way? Eight oh god damn it, I think I just figured it out. Shit. Sorry. I need a piece of paper. Okay. Okay. So let's work the problem. 0 is equal to not applicable. 4 is equal to off to the left. 8 is equal to every numbering system has a basic set of rules that must be followed in order to ensure a pattern. So it goes off to the left, and it looks like, because if you remember what 1 is, here's my well, Then we go 12. Okay. Now let's go 16. And you know what? I think I know what 20 is going to be. 20 is going to be this plus 4. It's going to be that plus 4. Watch it. Bingo! There's the pattern. Well, there's the start of the pattern. What's 24 going to be? I bet 24 is going to be 16 plus 8. So it's going to be this and this plus and eh. Hmm? Oh, yeah, no, yeah. It is 16 plus 8. I just remembered how to do 8 incorrectly. Because I'm stupid. $28 is going to be 16 plus 12, which means it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then these two. Yes! $32. $32 is the new number. Okay, wait. So there's another pattern I have to take into account. So, okay, so it looks like okay, so every 16, every increment of 16, we have to shift to a new symbol. Or we have to shift, so every okay. So if you guys know how base, if you guys remember how base 10 works, right? I don't know how to explain this, but so everything now is going to be everything now is going to be 32 plus what came before it. So 32 plus 4. No, hang on. So 36 is going to be. Oh, honey, oh, baby, I'm loving this. I've got the pattern. Which means 40. So wait, every 16, which means that after 32, that's going to be. $48, which means 40 is going to be 32 plus. So wait, 32. So 36 was 32 plus 4. 40 is going to be 32 plus 8, which means it's going to be bing, 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 and then this. God, I hope I'm right. No, not that. Bingo. Okay, so now the big puzzle is how in the name of all that is good and holy do I get to this? So knowing what I know, this section here is comprised of a 2. Which means this. So this row must be. Okay. So this must be another. Okay. So at the very least, by looking at this, I know they're like I know what that I'm adding 2 to something here. So the only thing I can do is just keep going. I hate this. I hate that I'm gonna have to keep going. What? All right, 44. $44 is simply going to be 32 plus 12. See, I don't need to go the entire distance. I don't. I've just got to find the pattern. I just got to find the pattern for how these get added on. $48. Okay, that's our new baseline is 48. $48 and 16 is 8 plus 6 is 4. That's 64. No. 8 plus 6 is 4. Put 14, put down the 4, carry the 1. Yeah, that's 64. Damn it. Hang on. I think we got it. I think we got it. Okay. So it looks like okay. I think we're close. Because if I'm right, this is the 60. This is the start of the 60 range. Or maybe I'm wrong. All right. 64 plus 16 is 80. What, this thing? I swear, Sam, if this just makes it turn up on the other side, I'm going to... No! No, wait. That doesn't... What? Hang on. Hang on 2 seconds here. There's a way to confirm this. Unless I have it orientated wrong. In that case, it would be... Hang on, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done like that. There's also another possibility, and I'm going to try this out because honestly I can't think of anything better. Why assume that they're lying about this when it can be made to auto-correct? I've just spent the last, I think, 30 minutes trying to discern the pattern on the number system, and I had no idea I could just do that! Somebody upstairs hates me, I swear. Alright, no more dicking around. Now that I have the map of where I need to go up to the plateau and go... I need to go to the wall. Okay, good. So I am in the right area. Okay. Push the friggin' button and all of a sudden everything... Thank you, Sam. We don't know if it works yet, that's true, but... that is valuable information. It worked. Mayor. Well. Florida, huh? Cecil will provide a new key code for the lower lock in the next few days. Cecil was concerned about any survivors not having access, so it was decided that we would conceal the code in Farley's house and give the residents the location as they were being chambered. I also had him change the upper tower access code. A clue to that code has been placed under the direction of our first mayor. Special Council Session 13. Cecil will provide a new key code for the lower lock in the next few days. Cecil was concerned about any survivors not having access, so it was decided that we would conceal the code in Farley's house and give the residents the location as they were being chambered. I also had him change the upper tower access code. A clue to that code has been placed under the direction of our first mayor. Well, obviously it has something to do with this. We will come back to that later. Luther Roscoe. Oh. Before Hunrath, after Hunrath. Okay. Oh, suddenly I get it. I suddenly get it. I suddenly get what AH is. Before Hunrath, after Hunrath. Okay. I hope this is the number of days, because otherwise someone is living 3,000 years. Yay. And more of the town opens up. Biblical ages. Oh. I think I know what it is. I think I know what the code to the upper tower is. Okay, under the direction of our first mayor. 10220. I'm still sour about that. All I have to do is push the friggin' button. Just push the button, stupid. That's all you have to do. You don't have to go figuring out their number pattern. You don't have to go and put like 45 minutes into figuring out, 3 decimals in, 4 decimals. No, just push the button, stupid. You'll get it. And of course, the hilarious part is there was no way I could have gotten that because the pattern was wrong. Ugh. Hang on, my brain is pinging me about something here. Give me a sec before I run all the way back. I don't want to ever see you again. You're evil. Evil. You're evil. I remember there being a display of what was powered and what wasn't, but... I was even dumb enough to go around the long way. Joy. Okay. Now I'm intrigued. Yes, this is true. Time enjoyed is not time wasted. It's scenic. That doesn't stop me from being salty. The first rule of any misadventure is poke everything. Ah. Yeah, I gotta get... I gotta get over to the plateau, okay. Aren't I at the plateau? No, I'm not. Okay, that was silly of me. Yes, I am exactly where I want to be. I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting my time. I'm exactly where I want to be. Thank you very much. I still haven't unlocked the back door. I've gotten in there, I just haven't unlocked the back door. Oh yeah, I've done that already. Saw a potentially interactable object. Oh, let's go for... That freaked me out. I was... Oh, wow, I'm jumpy. I'm so distracted by what I'm doing, I'm like, oh god, loud noise! By the way, how's the stream coming through? On my stream preview, it looks a little bit jerky, like we're dropping frames, but I assume it's coming through all right on your end. I hope it is. Nope, nope, never mind. It's looking fine now. Well, as long as it's coming out looking fine, I'm happy. That was not where I wanted to go. Yeah, I think this is where I want to go. No, no, that's not where I wanted to go. Close, but not quite. Oh, that's right. I remember. Okay, I remember what I have to do now. Yeah, you are here. Now, you can tell I'm kind of reaching the end of the stream when I'm starting to make mistakes like this. My brain has just been filled up with so much, oh god, you know, I've got all this new information. No. Yeah, I think I'm going to try the code, and if it doesn't work, and hopefully it works. Unfortunately, this old man's brain can only do puzzle games for so, like, in small spurts. I can't do, like, a marathon stream. I mean, I say I'm an old man, I'm only middle-aged, but, you know, it sounds funnier when I say old man. I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna take a chance. And I'm going to hope that the tower stays powered like that. Oh, wait, no. Okay, I think I know what that... Okay, I'm probably just being silly there. Alright. So we have... 1. Oh, that's a 2. Well, this will allow us to see if it's 5 numbers. Okay, that's 6 numbers. We'll try it anyway. Oh, you know what would be 6 numbers? Is if I included that first... One second, I think I know what I need to do. 0, 1, 0, 2, 2, 0. Did I get it wrong? Because that would make sense. Because I remember his epitaph? Something or other. I remember it only having... Come on, I know I'm just on the edge of it. I'm hoping I'm just on the edge of it. Let's try it backwards. 022010. I mean, they're 2 very easy codes that I can try right now, and hopefully they work. Oh, I was hoping that would be a shortcut, but no. I just real. One second. I realize all that yelling I did earlier, I left my bedroom door open. And with my bedroom door open, there was only a thin barrier of my front door in my condo between me and the hallway outside. Because I'm pretty sure that the construction between the condos is thick enough that they didn't hear me scream like that or yell. But, you know, I've never had anybody complain. I've never had a noise complaint come to my place. So either they can hear me on the other side of the wall, and my neighbors are just very tolerant of my idiocy, or they can't. Or my neighbors are just too scared of me, which would be kind of depressing.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. It's been about 2.5 hours, and I'm thinking that's good enough. Do I know if there's power here at all? No? Okay. But that's enough for now. I can already feel my head, like my head's a bit full. I think it's good to come back later, and I'm actually just going to leave myself here, because this is obviously the next thing I need to do to solve this puzzle. So I'm gonna call it in for the night. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back again next Friday. And, yeah. Keep an eye out, everybody. I hope you all enjoy your weekend. Have yourselves a